You've mastered your mind. You've built a disciplined daily life. You've learned to navigate the chaos of human relationships. But there's one truth you cannot control, cannot negotiate with, cannot escape. Everything ends. Your career will end. Your relationships will change. Your health will decline. The people you love will die. And one day, so will you. Most people spend their entire lives running from this reality. They distract themselves, numb themselves, pretend it's not coming. And in doing so, they never truly live. Marcus Aurelius didn't have that luxury. As emperor, he watched plagues sweep through Rome, killing thousands daily, including several of his own children. He led armies where death was constant. He felt his own body weakening with age and illness. He ruled knowing that emperors before him had been assassinated, poisoned, betrayed. Death wasn't abstract to him, it was everywhere. Yet somehow, instead of making him fearful or nihilistic, confronting mortality made him more purposeful, more present, more alive than most people ever become. On the battlefield, between meetings with generals and governors, Marcus would sit in his tent and write, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." In our journey through meditations, we've explored how to master yourself, how to live practically, and how to engage with others. But now we reach the deepest level, the Stoic perspective on death, adversity, fate, and what it all means. This isn't a depressing topic. For the Stoics, understanding mortality was the key to living well. Accepting fate wasn't surrender, it was empowerment. Embracing adversity wasn't masochism, it was transformation. Today we're exploring life's biggest questions through the Stoic lens. How do you live knowing everything is temporary? How do you face adversity without breaking? How do you pursue greatness when time is limited? How do you become who you're meant to be before death arrives? These are the questions Marcus asked himself every day, and his answers might change how you see everything. Number 1, accept change and transience. Here's a fundamental Stoic truth. Nothing is permanent. Everything is in flux. Marcus wrote, "Time is a river, the resistless flow of all created things. One thing no sooner comes into sight than it is hurried past and another is borne along, and that too will be swept away." Look around you right now. Everything you see, your possessions, your body, your relationships, even your thoughts, is changing, constantly, relentlessly. To a Stoic, losing something valuable or even losing a loved one is not truly a loss. It's change, and change is nature's basic rule. Pause and think about this for a moment. What in your life are you clinging to as if it's permanent? Your job, your youth, a relationship, your health? Marcus lived this reality intensely. He lost his father at a young age. He lost at least 8 of his children, most in childhood. He watched his co-emperor and adopted brother Lucius Verus die suddenly. He saw the plague transform Rome from a thriving capital into a city of mass graves. Yet he wrote, "Everything around you is constantly rearranging itself so new things can emerge. Nothing is in its final form." This isn't pessimism, it's realism. When you truly accept that everything changes, something liberating happens. You stop grasping desperately at what's slipping away. You stop being shocked when things end. You hold what you have more lightly, and paradoxically, you appreciate it more deeply. Therefore, expect every unexpected event. If something good or bad happens, don't be carried away by emotions. Respond with wisdom. Marcus advised, "Nothing happens to a person that they cannot bear." The universe doesn't give you challenges you fundamentally cannot handle. It might feel overwhelming, but you have the capacity to endure it. Accept change. It's not your enemy, it's the nature of existence itself. Number 2, contemplate death. Memento Mori. Memento Mori. Remember you will die. This might sound morbid, but for the Stoics, it was the most life-affirming practice they had. Marcus wrote, "Every morning remind yourself, this could be my last day on earth." Think about that. The Emperor of Rome, the most powerful man in the world, started each day by contemplating his own death. Why? Because life's value comes from the fact that one day it will end. If you live forever, what would be urgent? What would matter? You could procrastinate indefinitely. You could waste centuries. Nothing would have weight, but you don't have forever. You have today. Maybe tomorrow. Nobody knows. Marcus practiced another powerful exercise. If you meet a friend or relative, consider the possibility that it might be your last meeting. Pause and think about this for a moment. If you knew, truly knew, that the next time you saw your parent, your partner, your child would be the last time, how would you act differently? Would you waste that moment scrolling your phone? Would you leave things unsaid? Would you take it for granted? When Marcus's children were young, he would watch them sleep and remind himself, they are mortal. This wasn't to torture himself. It was to make every moment with them precious. This practice teaches the temporary nature of everything and reminds us of the universal laws under which life operates. Because once time passes, it never returns. Death meditation isn't about being depressed. It's about being awake. Most people sleepwalk through life, assuming they have unlimited time. Then suddenly they're old and they realize they wasted it. Marcus wrote, "Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly. The life behind you is already gone. You can't change it, but you still have today. What will you do with it?" Number 3. Embrace fate, Amor Fati. Amor Fati. Love of fate. Not just accepting what happens, but loving it. This is perhaps the most challenging Stoic principle, but also the most transformative. Marcus wrote, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it. Whatever happens to you, good or bad, can fuel your fire if you let it." The Stoics believe that everything that happens is part of a larger order. You might not understand it. You might not like it. But fighting against reality is futile. Since these events are in fate's hands, you should not hope and pray for them not to occur, but rather pray that you have the strength of character to endure them when they do. Marcus himself embodied this. The plague that devastated his empire, he couldn't stop it, so he managed it with all his skill and accepted what he couldn't control. The constant wars on the frontier, he didn't want them, but he led his armies with full commitment. The betrayals and incompetence he dealt with daily, he accepted them as part of the human condition. He wrote, "Why not rather pray for the gift to fear none of these things, to desire none of them, to sorrow for none of them?" This shifts your focus from trying to control the uncontrollable, external events, to strengthening what you can control, your character. Pause and think. What are you currently resisting in your life? What reality are you fighting against? What would change if you stopped fighting and started asking, how can I work with this? When they do occur, be like the headland against which the waves continually break. It stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. You can't stop the waves, but you can become the headland. This doesn't mean passive acceptance of injustice or refusing to improve things. It means not wasting energy raging against what's already happened. Embrace your fate, all of it, the good and the bad, because it's all shaping you into who you need to become. Number 4, adversity strengthens you. The obstacle becomes the way. Here's where Stoicism gets powerful. Adversity isn't just something to endure. It's the very thing that makes you stronger. Marcus wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." When something blocks your path, that obstacle becomes your path forward. Lost your job? That's the opportunity to find better work or build something new. Relationship ended? That's the space to become whole on your own. Illness struck? That's the teacher of patience and perspective. Marcus faced this constantly. During his campaigns on the northern frontier, he dealt with supply shortages, harsh winters, disease, and enemies on all sides. He could have despaired. Instead, he wrote some of history's most profound philosophy. The obstacle became his way. He took it even further. It's unfortunate that this has happened? No. It's fortunate that this has happened, and I've remained unharmed by it. Pause and think about this reframe. When something difficult happens to you, what if you immediately said, good? What new opportunities does this create? This isn't toxic positivity. You're not pretending bad things are good. You're recognizing that every situation, no matter how difficult, contains possibilities. In every event which leads you to sorrow, remember to use this principle, that this is not a misfortune, but to bear it like a brave man is good fortune. Marcus knew something profound. Adversity reveals and builds character in ways comfort never can. Think about your own life. When did you grow most? During easy times when everything went your way? Or during difficult times when you had to dig deep? There's an ironic beauty in life. It's these very hardships that give us the opportunity to test ourselves and grow stronger. The universe isn't punishing you with challenges, it's training you. Marcus wrote, "Imagine yourself as a wrestler trained by the gods with a high spirit so you can be Olympic-class material. You're not suffering, you're training." Number 5, pursue greatness and meaningful impact. Now we come to purpose. If everything is temporary, if death is coming, if challenges are constant, what's the point? The Stoic answer, to leave something behind that matters. Marcus taught that everything we do affects not only our lives but also the lives of future generations. A single idea can pass from generation to generation and change the shape of humanity. Think about it. Marcus wrote his Meditations in the 170s CE, never intending to publish them. Nearly 2,000 years later, millions of people read his words and are guided by them. He achieved immortality not through monuments or conquest, but through the quality of his thought and character. He gives us a powerful thought experiment. Think of all the billions who lived before us. Some worked hard and faded into the earth. Others wasted their lives doing nothing meaningful. In the end, nobody remembers their names. What remains is the impact they left on humanity. Pause here and ask yourself, what impact am I leaving? What will remain when I'm gone? Marcus was clear, so focus only on what is important. Chase greatness. Learn from great people. Think about how you want to justify your life. This doesn't mean you need to be famous or build empires. It means doing work that matters, contributing something, being someone who made things better, not worse. Greatness isn't about scale. It's about character and contribution. The teacher who inspired a student who went on to cure disease achieved greatness. The parent who raised a child with strong values achieved greatness. The person who consistently chose integrity over convenience achieved greatness. Marcus said many people die with bitterness because they never lived fully. They never became who they could have been. They wasted their potential. Don't be one of them. Number 6, life is short. Act now, don't procrastinate. This principle flows directly from accepting mortality. You don't have time to waste. Marcus was blunt about this. Remember how often you have put things off and procrastinated. How many chances you've been given and yet wasted. You have one chance and it's running out. Think about your own life. How many times have you said someday I'll learn that skill, someday I'll start that project, someday I'll reconcile with that person, someday I'll pursue my real dreams? Marcus wrote, stop seeking approval from others. Stop putting things off. Decide today to start taking action, not to live as if you had endless years ahead of you. He himself lived this urgently. Despite being emperor, the busiest job imaginable, he still found time to study philosophy, write, train his mind, and act according to his principles. His secret? He recognized every day is limited. Death overshadows you. While you're alive and able, be good. Pause and ask yourself, what am I putting off? What am I waiting for permission to start? The truth is, you're already dying. Every day that passes is one less day you have. This isn't meant to depress you. It's meant to mobilize you. Once you make the choice to pursue what matters, you will cease your internal suffering. You suffer justly because you choose to be good tomorrow rather than today. Marcus gave us a powerful mental tool. Think of the life behind you as already dead. From today, you're living a new, shorter life. Take this new life and live it properly. Right now, this moment is your chance. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect. Now. What are you waiting for? Number 7, become your best self before death comes. This is the culmination of everything Marcus taught. He wrote, the scariest thing is reaching the end of life with regret. Regretting the books you didn't read, the skills you didn't learn, the people you didn't help, and the potential you wasted. Pause and imagine yourself at the end of your life looking back. What would you regret not doing, not becoming, not attempting? Now imagine the opposite, reaching the end with peace, knowing you used your life well, knowing you became the person you were capable of becoming. That's the goal. Not perfection, but wholeness. Not achievement, but character. Not success, but virtue. Marcus said, drop laziness. Make every moment productive. Do good quietly, as your duty, not for applause. When your time comes, leave this world not with anger or regret, but with gratitude, knowing you used your human life well. This is what it means to become your best self before death comes. It's not about becoming rich or famous. It's about becoming good, strong, wise, kind, disciplined, honest, purposeful. Marcus knew he wouldn't live forever, so he worked on his character every single day. He examined his thoughts. He corrected his mistakes. He returned to his principles when he slipped. He practiced gratitude. He served others. He did his duty. And when death finally came for him in 180 CE, likely from plague or illness, he was ready. He had become who he needed to be. The question for you is, are you becoming who you need to be? Or are you drifting, procrastinating, numbing yourself, waiting for someday? Life is not a rehearsal. This is it. The only performance that matters is happening right now. Marcus leaves us with this. It is disgraceful for your soul to give up while your body is still going strong. You're still here. You're still breathing. You still have time. Use it. The Complete Stoic. We've reached the end of our journey through Marcus Aurelius's meditations. We began with mastering your inner world, controlling your mind, managing your judgments, maintaining emotional stability. We learned that true power lies not in controlling circumstances, but in controlling how you respond to them. We then explored how to live daily as a Stoic, with simplicity, honesty, gratitude, and duty. We learned that a meaningful life isn't built on luxury or applause, but on virtue and purposeful action. Next, we discovered how to navigate the social world, cooperating with humanity, showing kindness even to the unkind, judging people by character, and staying humble in power. We learned that other people cannot harm us unless we let them, and that our task is always to be good. And finally, today, we confronted the deepest truths, that everything changes, that death is coming, that adversity is training, and that time is running out. These aren't separate lessons. They're one complete philosophy. Control your mind so you can act virtuously. Live virtuously so you can engage authentically with others. Engage with others so you can contribute meaningfully. And do all of this urgently because death gives life its meaning. Marcus Aurelius wasn't a perfect man. He struggled with anger, with fatigue, with doubt. He made mistakes. He faced impossible challenges, but he never stopped trying to be better. He never surrendered to cynicism. He never gave up on virtue. And he left us a gift, a roadmap for how to live well in difficult times. 2,000 years later, his words still echo. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. You know what you need to do. You've always known. The principles are simple. Control your mind. Live with discipline. Treat people well. Accept what comes. Turn obstacles into opportunities. Act now. Become who you're meant to be. The question isn't whether you understand these ideas. The question is whether you'll live them. Marcus would tell you, this is your one life. You don't get a practice round. You don't get unlimited time. You get today, maybe tomorrow. Nobody knows. So what will you do? Will you drift through life on autopilot, reacting to circumstances, controlled by your impulses, wasting your potential? Or will you take ownership, master yourself, live with purpose, contribute something meaningful, become someone you're proud of? The choice, as always, is yours. Marcus faced his death with courage and peace because he knew he had lived well, not perfectly, but honestly and purposefully. When your time comes, will you be able to say the same? The Stoic path isn't easy, but it's worth walking. Start today. Start now. Because as Marcus reminds us one final time, You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Thank you for joining me on this journey through meditations. May these principles serve you as they serve Marcus, as tools for living well, whatever life brings you. Now go and be the person philosophy is trying to make you.